Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving straight into something absolutely fascinating. We are going to decode the profound, almost hidden layers within one of the most vibrant, ancient, and widely practiced Hindu rituals in the world, the Arati. We're going to peel back all those layers of chanting, the fire, the bells, and really figure out exactly what is happening on a spiritual, psychological, and even scientific level.
So let's start by asking a really simple question about this globally practiced ritual. Have you ever wondered why millions of devotees cup their hands over a waving flame and then immediately touch their eyes and forehead? You'll see this gesture in massive crowded temples along the Ganges, and you'll see it in quiet little household shrines all around the world. But it's definitely not just a beautiful tradition. It's actually a deeply coded somatic practice. And today, we're going to unpack exactly what it means.
To do that, here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at dispelling the night. Second, fire as the divine messenger. Third, offering creation back. Fourth, the cosmic clockwise motion. And finally, the science of the flame. All right, jumping right into section 1, dispelling the night and the dual meaning of Arati. Let's look at what the word itself actually means, because the etymology perfectly sets up the whole philosophy here. The term Arati comes from the Sanskrit root aratrika. Historically speaking, centuries ago, a physical flame was used simply to illuminate the deities in those really dark, cave-like inner sanctums of ancient temples, just so devotees could see them. But on a much deeper metaphysical level, the night or the darkness it's referring to, it isn't physical at all. It's all about dispelling the night of our spiritual ignorance. It's literally lighting a flame of awareness to burn away our material illusions. And here's a really cool linguistic trick. If you break the word down slightly differently into arati, the prefix a means complete or total, and rati means love. So it's not just about the functional removal of darkness, or even just clearing out the ego's ignorance. It is this active outpouring of complete, unflinching, unconditional love for God. It's basically devotion made entirely visible. Which brings us to section 2, fire, the divine messenger. Now, to really grasp fire in this context, we have to go way back, thousands of years back to the ancient Vedic fire sacrifices. As you can see from this quote from the Rig Veda, fire has always been viewed as the ultimate cosmic priest. We aren't just talking about a chemical combustion here. In this tradition, fire is an active, living, divine participant. So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is that fire acts as a cosmic messenger. In the ancient texts, Agni, or fire, is called Vaishwanadra, which is a living bridge between the material plane of humans and the spiritual heavens. Think of fire as a giant cosmic postman. It literally takes the physical offerings, the devotion, the prayers from the earthly realm, consumes them, and carries that essence straight upward to God. It is the ultimate transformer. Moving right along to section 3, offering creation back through the 5 elements. Okay, this is where it gets super interesting. Let's look at the physical items used, because it is definitely not just fire on that tray. It's basically a miniature universe on a plate. The items used map perfectly to the 5 great elements. You have fragrant flowers representing the earth and solidity, water in a conch shell for fluidity, the ghee lamp, obviously representing fire, the peacock feather fan for air and breath, and finally the yak tail fan, along with the sound of the bells, representing space or ether. So we're spanning the entire spectrum from the solid earth all the way up to subtle space. By gathering all these specific items together, the devotee is doing something incredibly profound. They are taking the actual building blocks of the universe, the very elements that make up our bodies and the entire world around us, and offering all of creation right back to God. It represents this total unraveling of our material entanglements. It's a ritual of ultimate surrender, just acknowledging that everything we are and everything we see ultimately belongs to the divine. Let's look at section 4, the cosmic clockwise motion and the precision in devotion. Because the mechanics of how this miniature universe is actually moved are highly, highly specific. You might think the priest is just kind of waving the lamp around randomly, right? Actually, scratch that. They perform extremely intentional circles around the deity. Usually it starts with 4 circles to the feet, symbolizing total surrender. Then 2 circles to the navel, acknowledging the sustainer of life. 3 circles to the face for divine beauty. And finally, 7 sweeping circles around the whole body, worshiping the divine as the sheer totality of existence. But notice this. Those circles are always clockwise. No exceptions. This is known as the Pradakshina principle. This clockwise motion perfectly mirrors the sun's journey across the sky from east to west. So, by moving the lamp in this exact direction, the ritual actively aligns human action with the cosmic movement of the entire solar system. It acts as a powerful physical affirmation that God is the stationary, unchanging axis around which the entire swirling universe revolves. And that brings us to our final part, Section 5, the science of the flame and receiving grace.
Because after the deity is worshipped, the flame is brought out to the people. And this is where the science will kind of blow your mind. The whole environment is flooded with the sound of bells made of special metal alloys that echo for at least 7 seconds. Studies actually suggest that specific frequency promotes brain hemispheric harmony and literally empties your mind of chaotic thoughts. Plus, the shared sensory immersion, the scent of camphor, the rhythmic sounds, the warmth of the fire, it fosters what psychologists call emotional contagion, which intensely bonds the community together. And cupping your hands over that flame, it engages the thermoreceptors in your skin, creating a massive physical somatic anchor for mindfulness.
But why cup the hands over the flame specifically? Well, often the Arati flame is fueled by camphor, and camphor is genuinely fascinating because it burns itself out completely without leaving a single trace of ash behind. When devotees cup their hands over the warmth of this flame and touch their eyes and forehead, they're receiving the grace infused into the light. Physiologically, that sudden rush of physical warmth just snaps your nervous system right into the present moment. And psychologically, it perfectly symbolizes the complete burning away of our material ego, purifying our internal fires of anger and desire, exactly like the camphor that leaves absolutely no residue. So as we wrap up this explainer, we can see that Arati is just so much more than a simple ceremony of light. It's a profound alignment of us, the human macrocosm, with the divine. It's a symphony of the 5 elements, and a brilliant sensory tool for deep psychological presence. I want to leave you with this to ponder. Considering the flame of your own awareness, what inner darkness, what ego or ignorance are you going to choose to actively dispel today?